A judge passes sentence. The prisoner will be executed at noon on one day next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And, the judge adds, the execution will be a surprise. The prisoner will not know the day in advance. The prisoner returns to his cell. He sits down. He does the logic. By the end of the afternoon, he proves, step by step, that the execution cannot happen on any day of the week. He is smiling. The sentence is impossible to carry out. On Wednesday morning, the executioner arrives. The prisoner is genuinely surprised. The sentence is carried out exactly as specified. Logic said impossible. The execution happened, something broke in the proof. For more than 70 years, nobody has been able to say exactly what. The paradox first appeared in print in 1948 in a 2-page article for the journal Mind by the British philosopher D.J. O'Connor. His title was Pragmatic Paradoxes. But the paradox did not start in a philosophy journal. It started on Swedish radio 5 years earlier during the Second World War. A mathematics teacher in Stockholm named Lennart E.H.K. Bohm heard a broadcast announcing that a civil defense drill would happen the following week and that no one would be told the day. E.H.K. Bohm noticed the announcement was self-defeating. He told his students. He did not publish. The rules are simple. Rule 1, a hidden day. The judge has chosen in advance one weekday in a fixed window. Rule 2, an execution on that day at noon. Rule 3, the prisoner cannot know the exact day in advance. If he can deduce it from information already available to him, the sentence is not a surprise, and the judge has failed. 3 rules. All 3 have to hold together. Watch the prisoner do the logic. The prisoner starts at the end of the week and works backwards. Friday first. Suppose the execution is on Friday. Then on Thursday evening, the prisoner is still alive. 4 days have gone by. Only 1 day remains in the window. At that moment, he knows with certainty that the execution is Friday at noon. It cannot be a surprise. Rule 3, the epistemic rule, is violated. So Friday is ruled out. Only 4 days left, Monday through Thursday. Apply the same reasoning to Thursday. If the execution is on Thursday, then on Wednesday evening, 1 day remains among the not yet eliminated options. Thursday. Again, no surprise. Thursday is impossible, so only Monday through Wednesday survive. By exactly the same argument, Wednesday is impossible, then Tuesday, then Monday. 1 day after another. The prisoner rules out each one in turn by the same clean induction. By the end of the afternoon, no day of the week satisfies both rules. The execution cannot happen. The sentence is logically impossible. He is smiling. On Wednesday morning, the executioner arrives. The prisoner is genuinely surprised. He did not know it would be Wednesday. The sentence is carried out exactly as specified. Both rules were satisfied. Logic said impossible. Reality said yes. Here is where other paradoxes give you a clean answer. Russell, unrestricted comprehension was the flaw. Simpson, the missing causal model. Newcomb, at least 2 clear camps with explicit definitions. In this paradox, nobody has a clean answer. More than 70 years of debate. More than 100 published papers. No consensus. Here are the leading candidates for which step of the prisoner's proof breaks. Candidate 1, self-defeat. O'Connor and Quine, in the 1940s and 50s, argued that the judge's sentence is a pragmatic paradox, a statement that cannot be truly asserted, like, I am not speaking now. But self-defeating does not mean false. The judge can still hang him. Candidate 2, Quine's dismissal. In 1953, W.V. Quine argued there is no paradox. The prisoner, Quine said, wrongly assumes on day 1 that he cannot be surprised on any day. But later analysts showed Quine's dismissal is too fast. Candidate 3, Godel. In 1964, Frederick Fitch at Yale proved that the judge's announcement can be formalized as a self-referential sentence, directly analogous to Godel's undecidable sentence. Self-reference is the culprit. but this does not tell us which step of the prisoner's informal reasoning is wrong. Candidate 4. Blind spots. In 1988, Roy S.O.R. in Sun proposed that the announcement is a blind spot. True about the world, but inaccessible to the prisoner. The judge can know it. The executioner can know it. The prisoner cannot, without the very act of knowing breaking the statement. Candidate 5. Chow. In 1998, Timothy Chow argued the flaw is the prisoner's tacit assumption that on each evening he will still know the judge's statements to be true. If his own proof has convinced him they are unsatisfiable, he does not still know them, and the induction cannot start. 5 candidates. None of them has won. More than 70 years. Nobody can agree on which step is the flaw. The prisoner's argument, at every individual step, still looks right to whichever philosopher is reading it. And yet, on Wednesday, the executioner arrives. This is not a case of 2 confident camps, the way Newcomb is. This is a case of no confident camp. Every published solution has its published refutation. Timothy Chow, who wrote the most thorough modern survey in 1998, put the situation plainly. No epistemic paradox has produced more commentary than the unexpected hanging, and none has produced less consensus, which is, in a way, the cleanest emotional signal of where mathematical philosophy really stands. The field knows something is wrong with the prisoner's argument. It cannot say what, for more than 70 years. The paradox lives in a zone of logic that is more honest than most. It does not pretend to be solved. Every other puzzle in this series ends with a resolution, sometimes ugly, sometimes partial, but a resolution. This one ends with a question mark, not because we are ignorant, because the question exposes a limit on what kinds of answers we are able to give. The shape of the paradox is the shape of a larger family. In 1931, Kurt Godel proved that any formal system strong enough to describe arithmetic contains true statements it cannot prove. In 1933, Alfred Tarski proved the concept true in this language cannot be defined inside the language. In 1936, Alan Turing proved no algorithm can decide, in general, whether another algorithm halts. In 1960, Kaplan and Montagu proved the paradox of the knower, the exact epistemic cousin of the hanging paradox. All 5 results share the same shape. An agent, or a system, is asked to reason about a claim about itself. Consistency breaks. The hanging adds one ingredient: time. The prisoner's knowledge on Monday evening depends on what he infers today, which includes inferences about what he will know tomorrow. Time closes the diagonal in a way Godel's sentence never had to. The unexpected hanging is, in this sense, Godel's theorem embedded in a calendar. Which step of the prisoner's reasoning breaks? We do not know. This is not an admission of failure. It is an admission that our concept of knowledge, what it means for an agent to know a fact about their own future, is not complete. Whenever you announce a surprise audit, a surprise inspection, a surprise layoff, the unexpected hanging is waiting beneath your announcement. If your audience reasons carefully enough, the surprise unravels. And yet, the audit usually happens anyway. The commitment holds. Something about how real knowledge and real surprise interact, we have not yet captured in formal logic. Modern AI agents reasoning about predictions made about them run into this structure every time. Agent Foundation's researchers take the paradox seriously as an unsolved problem, not as a historical curiosity. The unexpected hanging did not break logic. It exposed a seam. More than 70 years later, the seam is still open. Logic learned to be honest about what it cannot yet answer. The rest of us are still trying to work out which day it is. A judge passed sentence. A prisoner did the logic. The logic said the execution was impossible. On Wednesday, the executioner arrived. More than 70 years. More than 100 published solutions, none of them accepted. Every week, another paradox, another impossible idea that turns out to be true. Subscribe. The next one might break something you did not know you believed.